This past year, I decided to try out a social media cleanse. Delete all of my accounts and stay away from social media as much as I can. At first, it was a struggle going through withdrawal, but 2 weeks into the cleanse, I felt that I could be on this cleanse forever. I would soon realize this was not the case. It all started with a simple search on YouTube. I was searching for a video, any video, that would point out certain flaws within a manga, Tokyo Manji Revengers, aka Tomon. I soon found out that that was not the case, and instead, manga fans and pundits were lauding it as some type of gem. And that is when I thought about doing this video on Tomon. Something that needed to be said, someone to spread the word to the masses of uninformed readers who think Tomon is the paragon of delinquent manga. Tomon came out in 2017 to not that much hype over here in the West, as the official translation was announced a year and a half after its debut. It wasn't until late 2019, early 2020 that Tomon was making the rounds on social media and other manga forums. I've been seeing comments like these for a couple of months now, and with every new chapter released of Tomon, I'm surprised folks aren't latching onto this flaming piece of garbage and anointing its anime as something to look forward to in 2021. By the way, did I tell you that it's getting an anime?
駅のホームから線路に落ちてさ、死んだと思って気づいたら12年前の自分になってた。竹道。
The barrier of entry of what gets an anime has lowered significantly over the decade, so that any series that gets about 20 chapters has about 5 anime offers lined up. And back to Tomon, the decline of manga qualities for another video. In this video, I will be listing some of the grievances I have with Tomon. How it started. Main character. If you're familiar with delinquent manga, you would know that one of the main elements to have a good story in that certain genre is to have a strong male lead. One that has leadership qualities, has quotable lines here and there. It's powerful, but they're not OP. Somebody who, not by the sheer plot armor, wins his battles, but because of his actual efforts in the story. And that is where Tomon goes wrong. In comes Takemichi Hanagaki. If I could describe him in one word, it would be plain. His wardrobe throughout the series is plain. He doesn't have any standout qualities except for crying in every single situation. And when I say this, I am not exaggerating. You can fill up a whole volume with just Takemichi crying. Plain and simple, he is a crybaby who has all of the worst attributes of a shonen protagonist. Takemichi wins fights through the sheer will and faith that the author will not allow him to lose. His character is the biggest detriment to Tomon. It was more fitting to have him left in the background, off-panel, far away from the story. Crybaby Ichi should have been axed the moment Wakui presented the character to his editor. Now let's move on to the choice of antagonist. As of the latest Tomon chapter, we have come across plenty of antagonists that Takemichi and co have faced off against. But we'll focus on the main one, and that one is Kisaki Teta. Cunning and ruthless, he is the foil to Takemichi, and his role is to destroy everything that Takemichi finds dear. If you look back on your favorite antagonists and list out what make them special to you and the story, I would assume that somewhere in that list would be something like, has a compelling end goal. I usually like rooting for the bad guys with sympathetic qualities, ones that might try to reach his goal with evil means, but is admirable nonetheless. Now let's go back to Kisaki Teta and wonder what his endgame was. Ladies and gentlemen, it was to have Takemichi's love interest as his bride. If you have been disgusted by what you have heard, then you are not alone. Kisaki's goal was to impress some chick by becoming the biggest and baddest gangster in town. This shallow goal is what allowed him to cheat, hurt his way to the top, and looking at it in aggregate seems very stupid. Now on to the next complaint. Chapter titles. I would say that this is the main offense that Wakui has committed in regards to the series. The first 30 or so chapters started out with words starting with le, and as soon as he couldn't think of any more words, he ditched the idea. I thought those chapters were a nice little touch to the series, but this was back in the first couple of volumes, so I don't think having a chapter name that started with le would have saved Tomon from becoming the second-rate series it is. This ends the video, and if you are wondering why I'm not going to get into plot details, the time traveling, well, that would make for a longer video, and I would welcome anyone to just pop into my Discord, and we can discuss it there. I bid you all adieu, and hopefully you all like the video, and I might start making some more. Comment with what topics you would like to hear about.